Welcome guys to my very first tier list video, and today we want to take a deep dive for investing in Web3 gaming. I accumulated all my experience that I've been able to collect in 4 to 5 years. And first of all, obviously this is no financial advice. You should always do your own research. Take it more like an overview. So if a project ticks very many red flags, then you have a very good idea, and if a project is more on the green flag side, you also have a good idea. We have 5 levels, and in this video, of course, we want to go mainly into some red flag signs, but we also have some green flags. So the green flag is, I call probably legit. You can never be sure, right? It's crypto after all. Above that, we have could be nothing. So this is sort of a little less likely. Then we have basically the 50-50, the orange one, the coin flip. And above that, we have the exciting stuff where I need to be very cautious. And all on the top, we have, if you spot this sign, it's 99% a scam. And as the signs add up, you can have a good idea in which direction a project is going. So let's get right in. If the team is not doxed, especially in gaming, this is 99% a scam, guys. I think I don't need to explain that in depth, but there is basically no reason why a team that is developing a game should not be doxed. Because as you develop a game, you usually should have an established company, and that requires you to being doxed anyways. We are not in meme coin territory, we are in business territory. And if the team is not doxed, it just tells you they either don't trust the work they do themselves, or they have some shady business going on and don't want to be publicly known. So I rank this as 99% scam. Other people would maybe rank it lower, but if you want to, you have so many gaming projects out there where you can invest in, and most people don't have enough money to invest in every single project. And if a team is not doxed, it's just not worth my money. I mean, if you're like a billionaire and you don't care, then okay, put your money in. But if a team is not doxed, I will not put any money in there. Next point is we have no real in-game footage on the website. So let's say you see some pictures of in-game footage, but only pictures and no real videos, and the whole website seems very AI-ish, and yeah, you cannot really get to the core of the game. I just say be very, very cautious, because yeah, might be the game is not ready to be publicly shown yet, but in general, I'm a very visual guy. I react, I decide based upon if I see nice in-game footage. And maybe the developers think the in-game footage is not good enough to be shown yet, but on the other hand, you don't really build trust if you don't show in-game footage, at least not for me. And this is why I will be very, very cautious here. Next point is there is no alpha or no beta available yet. So the game basically, or the project just launched, and there is not really a playable version as of right now. Could be nothing. So if you start out researching, of course, this goes hand in hand with, is there in-game footage on the website anyways, but it's just not playable yet. If both is a no, then of course it's more likely that the project could be a scam. But in general, if you have no alpha or beta that is playable, could be nothing. Maybe it's just not ready. Maybe you are one of the first persons to spot the project, which would give you a very big advantage investing wise. But yeah, just follow the other tips that I have down here very closely. Next point is an inactive Discord. So if a Discord is inactive, this is quite normal, especially for many smaller game projects that are legit. Could be nothing, right? I mean, there are so many Discord servers, and it's just, I feel like there are more Discord servers than we would actually need, because a user doesn't want to be, as a gamer, doesn't want to be active on 10 to 15 Discord servers at the same time. It's just a pain in the ass. And if the Discord server is inactive, could just be a sign that the project is still very new and didn't gain that much traction. So could be nothing. If the Discord is inactive, I'm generally not very worried. Yeah, please take note, this can of course vary from your experience. I'm just telling you from my experience, no financial advice. Next is the main communication tool in crypto, of course, is X or Twitter. And most of the project, also if they are legit, have bot followers. I will put this at coin flip. I mean, everybody does it. It doesn't matter if it's a scam project or if it's a legit project. Everybody is buying X followers to increase their appearance, make it seem like they are very well known. You cannot tell from the X followers whether a project is a scam or not. So let's just put this at coin flip. There's no way for you to know. The next point that I want to talk about are the team tokens. So if a team has 30% or more team tokens in general, I will be very, very cautious. I would almost put this at scam. The thing is, gaming development, of course, costs money. Marketing costs money. And where does this money come from? In the classical Web2 way, you get it from like these big VCs that also exist in crypto, of course. But on the classical gaming, you only know it by VCs. And with crypto, you have kind of this, let's call it financial vehicle, where you can also get the money from here. It is very hard to differentiate whether a team is slow rocking or if they are really spending the money on development and marketing. If the team tokens get out of hand, I would just be very cautious anyways, especially if in the white paper they make it seem like that they don't have such many tokens. So for example, they say we have 10% team tokens and we have 10% marketing tokens and we have 10% tokens for development and 5% tokens for advisors, 5% tokens for listings. And then basically they have, they own basically almost half of the supply. They just call it different, but yeah, always think if the tokenomics, how much is really team tokens, because usually it's way more than it seems to be, and how much goes into liquidity pool, in-game rewards, and so on. The next point are long vesting schedules. I will put this at coin flip, and I'm gonna explain why. Usually, long vesting schedules is something that investors like to see and what gives the project a reputation of protecting the token price and being more on the safe side. However, from an investor's perspective, so let's say you are a crypto investor and you want to invest in gaming tokens, it is one of the most it comes very close to casino, okay? It is very speculative, and so you decide to give your money in this very high risk investment where you're often not sure if it's maybe even a scam after all. And then on top you have this long vesting schedule. So let's say you put $1,000 in, and this is a very risky investment. Not only do you put $1,000 in, but you basically maybe have just access after 1.5 or 2 years to this $1,000 again. And what happens? Of course, if the vesting schedule unlocks, people notice the token price gets dumped anyways, because of course people want to see the game succeed, but they also want to make money at the end of the day. And being honest, I don't know if long vesting schedules, it's a two-sided sword, okay? That's all what I'm saying. It can protect the token price for a while, but then projects usually have this huge diluted evaluation where there are so many tokens that are about to be unlocked and the price is mooning and everybody's like, yeah, that's the best project ever, the team is so great. And then when the vesting schedules unlock, it just gets dumped. It's like just delaying the inevitable. And yeah, the cause of that is probably in the pre-sale. So when, of course, a portion of people buys the token very, very cheap and the other people buy it at the open market, then yeah, you basically delay the inevitable. So if the launch is not fair and there are very many different pre-sales with investors who get in very cheap, then the vesting schedules just going to delay the inevitable. Okay, no token use case is the next. I'm almost gonna put this at 99% scam. I'm just gonna say, be very cautious. Staking is not a token use case. When you invest in gaming tokens, you want the token to have an in-game use case, okay? So should be responsible for in-game transactions and so on. And after that, for staking. If the token has no use case, in my opinion, it's more like a tool to hype people up. It's a tool to collect money, and it's a tool, just to get more publicity. And yeah, the thing is, when the token has no use case, when the hype is gone, why would you want the token? So why would you want the token if you can do nothing with it? Yeah. So I put this at be very cautious if the token has no use case. The next point is sketchy website. I very often see projects that have quite a good alpha or beta going on, but their website just looks very, very sketchy, or let's say not professional. So it doesn't give much info. The animations are kind of off. It's just a very weird vibe overall. I don't know, I put it at coin flip or could be nothing. I will put it for this video at could be nothing. So yeah, just consider everything else. Of course, if in addition you have no real in-game footage, the token doesn't seem to have a use case, and the team is not doxed, then a sketchy website doesn't help. But if there is maybe an alpha available, if you have pictures from the team and valid LinkedIn profiles and so on, then a sketchy website is not the worst thing in the world, okay? Always think about the context, guys. I just put it at could be nothing. Okay, next is there is a very short white paper. Yeah, I'm just gonna put this at be very cautious. Especially if the team is small and it's mainly developers, maybe they don't like this marketing side of things, or they want to spend their time better with developing. But as a matter of fact, if there is no or a very bad white paper, it just shows that people don't really have a plan about what they want to achieve with the game in the future. And yeah, I would be very cautious unless there is really good game footage and the game is already like playable. If there is no white paper or anything, be very cautious, guys, okay? Next, we have the next point is an own game client. So basically means you just have to download the game file from the website itself, and you don't have a game client like Epic Games or like anything else. Steam doesn't accept Web3 games yet, maybe in the future. I just say, just for safety reasons, okay? Especially if the project is new and you don't really have content about the game available online, this can be a 99% scam, guys. Don't download the game client until you're 100% sure that it's legit, because it is so easy to place a virus on your device, on your PC. And especially if you don't have hardware wallets, I would never ever download a game client from any website that I barely know and where the team is maybe not doxed. This is just not a very good idea. So if the project has an own game client, I would try to contact them first. I would check the community, everything, Discord, Telegram, if people are already playing the game. And yeah, don't rush it, guys, if there is an own game client, because be very cautious. Just suppose it's a scam, and if it's not, it's okay, but not the other way around, right? Next point I have is a generic roadmap. I just also put this at be very cautious. What do I mean by generic? A generic roadmap is, for example, if it says in Q1 25, we want to have 20,000 Telegram members or 10,000 X followers, or we want to do partnerships. So what? Who doesn't want this? This doesn't make you special. This is no real vision. It just shows that people have no real vision behind the project, and it shows that they just didn't put the work in. And for me, this feels more like a quick money grab. Just buy our token, hope it goes up, and here's your roadmap that we did in under 5 minutes. Just my opinion. Next is the game seems to be a clone game. So let's say a GTA comes out, but just with crypto, not from Rockstar. I put this at probably legit. Why is that? Because if the game is actually good and it is a clone game, it is usually a very successful clone game. I mean, just look at Off the Grid. I don't know if you can call it a Fortnite clone. I mean, it does Battle Royale, but it does it with this very dark humor and with realistic graphics. But in essence, everything is a clone game of anything else. It is very hard nowadays to invent something completely new. So yeah, what is a clone game, what is not a clone game is another discussion. Generally, if a very successful pattern of a Web2 game is copied, I will put it at probably legit, because they already have this very big community from the cloned game. And if everything else is legit, if the team is doxed, if there is no weird token sale, also a point we come, then I put this at probably legit. Next, we have no development videos. What I mean by development videos is basically a developer talking about, yeah, guys, this is our blog. This month we did this and that. Here we fixed this bug. We implemented this game mode. Gonna be honest, could be nothing. Here you also have to pay attention to the rest of the context again. Of course, when the website is shit, when the team is not doxed, and they have nothing else, then no development videos won't help. But if they have an alpha going, if the game seems to have a good foundation, then no development videos could be nothing, okay? Maybe developers have better things to do, like develop, right? Next is pre-sale in stages. I'm gonna put this straight at 99% scam. So if you see like these websites that have pre-sales, and people completely exaggerate. I mean, it's okay if there is a private sale and a public sale, and maybe a seed sale that is the cheapest one. But if people have like 8 stages and publicly advertise this on their website and are like, oh yeah, if you don't buy now, we only have 20k USDT left for this stage, then the next stage is gonna be more expensive. Is the dumbest thing. I don't know who would ever buy a token after stage 1, but it seems to work somehow. It creates this weird FOMO from people that want to dump on the people after them. For me, this is a straight red flag. I would never invest, never ever, in a pre-sale with stages, especially not with more than 3 stages, okay? Yeah, just it's a very quick money grab and provoking FOMO in people. Okay, next is there are huge reward promises that are probably unrealistic. So I'm talking of play to earn. I put this at 99% scam. If somebody's telling you, yeah, with our game everybody can earn, let's just say $1,000 a month for this example. This is almost 100% a scam, because question 1, where does the money come from? And question 2, why does everyone get it? Okay, there are reward-based games, for example, like Shadowline, which is very new, where the best people get the money, the top people in the leaderboard, because the game is earning money via Web2 transactions and also a little via Web3 transactions. And this money gets then redistributed to the best players and best creators, okay? This is sustainable, but there is no world where a game has maybe 100,000 players and every player gets $1,000 per month. It is usually the new players who pay for the old players for some kind of Ponzi scheme, and once there are no new players, everything collapses. So if something sounds too good to be true, it's probably too good to be true. Be very careful. No revenue streams. Yeah, if a game has no revenue streams, let's say beside their token sale, I put it at 99% scam, because at the end of the day, a game is a business. A game has to earn money one or the other way, just to keep servers running, just to keep the basic stuff involved. If there are no revenue streams, besides the pre-sale, and afterwards nothing. It's 99% scam, guys. So what could other revenue streams be? Just classical in-game transactions, Web 2, you don't even need blockchain. NFT sales, NFT resales, advertising inside of the game. So there are endless possibilities, but if you don't discover any revenue streams, at the end of the day, the team has to live off something, right? And if there are no other revenue streams, the team has to live off the tokens that they created for free and that you purchased. It is just the reality of the game. I have to laugh if I just think about the next, but the next is pay to play. Okay, guys, I've seen a game that implemented this mechanic. This is which they call pay to play. So you have to connect the wallet, the first step to play, which is also very bad because you will turn off any Web 2 players. And then you have to pay a small portion of the token in order to play. Don't ask me who came up with this idea, but yeah, it kind of worked for a few weeks and the game was shit as well. I'm not going to say the name. But basically, pay to play is any game where you need any game where you need a specific amount of tokens to start the game or a specific NFT, whatever. Meaning if you have to put money in first to be able to play the game, then it's pay to play. It's 99% a scam. And if they promise you up on top that when you put the money in to play, then you get money out by playing, then it is 100% a scam, because then the players that come after you, that you maybe even recommend, will pay your rewards basically. And I explained this a few minutes ago. When there are no new players anymore, everything will collapse. Mandatory Web3 mechanics is the same. So basically, you have to have Web3, or you have to connect your wallet to play the game. That's what I wanted to say. It's basically a coin flip. Being honest, I don't like this because, yeah, you will always stay in your Web3 niche. No Web 2 players will ever be interested in your game. That's one of the reasons why I wouldn't ever invest in this game. Does it mean it's a scam? No, not necessary, but be very careful when you connect to any unknown game, when you connect a wallet to any unknown game. I would always create an extra wallet where I don't hold any tokens or just really tiny amounts only for this purpose. Just do this extra step. It takes 5 minutes to create a new wallet and then you'll be safe. Otherwise, if you take your wallet where everything is inside, I would put this at be very cautious. But let's just say you create a new wallet for the game or for several games. Okay, next is a referral system. Of course, referral system can take different forms. I just put it at be very careful if there is a referral system for the pre-sale. The pre-sale has multiple stages. It is, of course, 99% a scam, right? But let's say there is a referral system like you get 5 people in the game and you get a one-time payment of 10 USDT. Okay, this can work for a specific amount of players, but probably not forever. Could be legit. I would just be very cautious nonetheless, because yeah, basically you bank on your friends or your audience to put money in the game where nobody knows if it's 100% legit. And yeah, just be very cautious, okay? This referral systems can take very many forms. Next one, we have the token is not out yet, or so far after the token launch, there are only DEX listings planned. So decentralized exchanges. It's very much depending on the context, as always. I will put this at probably legit, because what does a listing on a centralized exchange mean? Sorry. It means that the team has to spend money. The team has to spend between 20 to, let's say, 80K, depending on the centralized exchange. And where does the money come from? If it comes from the pre-sale, then it comes directly from the money everybody put in from the community. And often the centralized exchange doesn't really help, because they have arbitrage bots, they have math bots, and they will do anything to squeeze every last dollar cent out of your token, Believe me, I've been working for projects where we experienced exactly that. Not going to call any names, but a SEX listing is centralized exchange listing is not as good as many people think, especially if the project is still very small and especially if it's like a tier 3 or tier 4 exchange, okay? So, I mean, it's a different story if you list on Coinbase, Kraken, or Binance. That's very cool. But many of these small exchanges are no real benefit to your project, believe me. Then the next point, we have the game as multi-chain. So the game has multiple blockchains integrated. I put this at probably legit for the simple reason that it shows that the team is trying to connect very different communities from different chains and tries to include as many people in the game as possible. So of course, if you have like these 99% scam red flags and then you go multi-chain, then it's of course a scam nonetheless. But if the rest seems kind of right, multi-chain is probably legit and probably even a good thing for the project. Last thing is we have no track record of the team, meaning the team hasn't had any past development projects, any past games or successes. Again, it's very hard to tell, depends on the whole context. Again, I'll just put it at could be nothing. Maybe they are entrepreneurs that just left university or that are 15 years old but are some kind of geniuses sitting in their basement just doing the best game ever. Just take a look at the whole context. Okay, guys, this was the first tier list video. I enjoyed it very much. I hope you did too. I recommend just take a screenshot of this list. Tell me what you would have done different or which point I might have missed that I can talk about in another video. Always do your own research and use this list you can use this list for your research. So if you see like all these points up here adding up, you probably should stay away. But if you see more and more points down here that are adding up, you have a good chance that you are not getting rugged, which is the goal from everybody of us at the end of the day. Thank you very much, guys. I will do a next tier list shortly, and bye-bye.